We like to work fast here on Compas on the Beat. Once we saw Justin Herbert had a new bodyguard, we knew we had to get this very special guest on the show. We're of course talking about Zion Johnson, the Chargers' first round draft pick of the 2022 NFL draft. Zion, welcome to Compas. How are you, and how's life going since joining the Chargers?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here, and it's been an amazing experience. It's been a whirlwind. I kind of talked about my experience on draft day, but since then, I've been out to LA. I got to see the facility, and I saw SoFi Stadium, and it was just great to meet all the coaches, meet all the people I talked to over the phone, and just experience LA for the first time in my life.
Zion, I think when I spoke to you at the Chargers press conference, you were saying you got like 1,000 texts saying congrats, and you couldn't get to all of them. You left some on red, maybe, or you did a like at least, or a heart. Did you
No,
respond to all these texts, or what happened?
I'm very selective with who has my number. So everybody who texts me, I know them personally. So I respond to everybody.
Okay, so you're done with that. You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I caught up. I made sure.
Okay. How about he met some teammates yet, or not too much?
I got texts from a few teammates just reaching out saying, congratulations on being drafted, and we're welcome to have you. And I'm just excited to finally meet them. In the coming weeks when I get down there and really put you know, I say face to a name, but I kind of know what they look like from TV and all that. But it's different when you get to meet a person actually. So.
Okay, and now that I think about it, Zion, you're telling us a story about how the bus driver got you to play football as a junior in high school, Riverdale Baptist, and people are wondering who's this mystery bus driver. And I started talking to some of your high school coaches. I spoke to your mom for a story, and I think the word was traveling around church, and people were trying to find who's this mystery bus driver. And I think you got a hold of him, Hank Lloyd.
Yep.
On Sunday, you called him. That's what I heard.
Yep.
How did that phone call turn out for you to maybe credit this or give him a shout out for this bus driver?
It was good because I remember when he was my bus driver. He always looked out. He was someone who, even like if something were to happen and like the buses were down, he would try to fight his hardest to make sure he could pick up all the kids because he was a coach too. He coached baseball and basketball for a little bit, so he was big into sports. So I think just him being around sports for a long time, he saw that I played golf and saw that even though I wasn't that big. I had big hands and a pretty big lower body at that time. So he was like, "All right, well, you should try out and play football." And he was really the first person who told me that. And after that, it took some time of me thinking, talking with my mom about it. And I talked about how my mom really, she really pushed me into doing it. And I'm really thankful to her for that because I love the game and I love it now. And if I had never tried out, never played on the team, that would be a sad reality, I'd say.
I think Charger fans and Justin Herbert are very thankful to that bus driver that he got you to play football because now you're protecting him. But Zion, I'm fascinated by you because of what you decided to choose as your career path, which is cybersecurity. 15 years from now, when your football career is over, is that something you want to jump into? Are we going to get Elon Musk on the phone and talk to him and try and get him to get us a job, or what are you thinking?
Well, I can say possibly, because that's definitely an interest of mine. But I never know. Down the road, I could end up coaching or doing something in the sports realm. But that's definitely something that's an interest of mine and could be a possibility.
Zion, when you were describing cybersecurity in that presser, all I could think about was the show Ozark. I don't know if you watch it on Netflix and money laundering and stuff like that. Is that kind of what you're doing, like preventing people like Marty Bird from washing money for the cartel?
I haven't really seen Ozark. I saw like the first few episodes and then I stopped. I'm more of like an NCIS type of guy, but
Oh,
uh, not particularly. It's more so um from what I've studied, there's been a lot of different sections. Like there's the risk side of things where you're basically calculating risk of different threat actors, stealing information or hijacking or doing different things to your company. There's the compliance side, which is more so talking about like the cybersecurity laws that each country has. Like I know in Europe they have a lot more specific cybersecurity laws than we do here. So like that those sort of things, and then there's the actual uh, like threat defense side of things where you're actually like on the front lines, you know, finding hackers, tracing where they are, and actually using your offensive capabilities to stop them. So there's like a broad range of things that fit under cybersecurity. But the money laundering side of things, I think that's something else.
Okay, gotcha. It sounds like blocking though, and you're good at blocking. So I think I'm kind of there.
Yes, protection.
There
Yeah,
you,
there
there
you
you
go.
go. Zion, what are some of your other hobbies? Like, what TV shows and movies are you watching? I mean, I know you used to play golf and play piano, but what are some of your other hobbies?
So I'll start with the TV show thing. So I've been watching the Moon Knight
I knew you were gonna
show
say that.
on Marvel.
How
I
is
mean
it?
Mm.
Disney, and I haven't finished it yet.
Okay.
I've only watched 3 episodes. I'm kind of bad with keeping up with shows and stuff like that. But I've been watching that. I
Do you
love
recommend it?
NCIS. I've been binging NCIS. I'm on like season 8, so I've been watching that. And then I'm thinking of watching the show Suits.
Oh,
Have you
okay.
ever heard of that?
Yeah, I have.
I
Yeah.
think it's about like the two lawyers. They're lawyers, right?
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of watching that. Those are really like what I've been watching right now. But other than that, I like movies. I don't really like, you know, movies per se. Like I'm not a big movie buff. Like I rank them and all that.
Yeah.
I like the experience of going to the movies because I did it a lot as a kid, and it's like an experience where I can like go to the theater and kind of shut my mind off and relax a little bit. And I'm a little bit into gaming. I'm mostly like a Madden 2K type of guy, but I love Skyrim too, and like those type of games. But outside of that, football is really the only other thing that I focus on in my life.
Well, if you want a golf challenge, Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen are probably the best on the team. If you want a Madden challenge, Derwin James is supposed to be like this godly like Madden player that nobody can beat. Like last year, he had a foot injury which he couldn't play the whole season back in 2020,
Mhm.
and he did this whole Madden tournament against like Quavo, Snoop Dogg. Like he played all these people, and he just blew them out like 52-0. Like he was just blowing them out. So
Yeah,
Derwin might be your best bet into a good Madden challenge.
yeah, he might be on another level, but we'll see.
That'll be a good one. But
I'm
Zion, what
more of
what?
like a franchise type of guy. Like
Okay,
I'll put the team together and like relocate a team to like another state
City.
or
Okay.
city or like there was one team I relocated to like England,
Oh,
and like
Wow.
really?
you can like restructure the team and draft your guys and stuff, and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's a lot more fun than just playing Ultimate Team or whatever. And that's just my opinion. But
Mhm.
Zion, what type of player are the Chargers getting? What are some of your strengths, and what do you know about your new teammates?
I think the biggest strength for me is just my hardworking ability. Like I'm someone who, believes that if you work hard at anything, you can really see yourself grow and develop. I'm someone who's really just dedicated to the game, and I love football. And in terms of what I've heard about my teammates, I've heard just a lot of good things in terms of the culture of the team and what the Chargers are trying to build. And I'm excited to meet them formally. And I just know the potential that this team has, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Zion, speaking of strength, it sounds like that is your strength, being strong. I think the Chargers tweeted out your video at the combine where you cranked out 32 reps on the bench press. You did it barefoot. I think you were the most among the linemen who participated. But how was that experience at the combine? And I guess tell us kind of your technique of going barefoot on the bench press.
So I go barefoot usually when I lift, just to train my feet. It helps me feel in control, just having my feet in contact with the ground when I do different movements. And it helps me when I go out on the field. And just in terms of my bench press, um, Exos did a good job of teaching us different techniques that we should follow, you know, like our first wave and then our second wave, how we should plan out going through the 225 test. And that really helped me as well. And, the combine experience in general was just really surreal. It was the first year that they had everything in the same day, the bench and everything else. And, it kind of felt like a blur at the end of the day. You went out and you bench, but literally, like my bench was probably like, I mean, I did 30 something reps, but how long really was I on the bench? Like probably a minute and a half or so, maybe a minute. So it really like flashes by, and at the end of the day, you're done with everything, and you're like, oh my goodness, I just finished performing at the combine.
And like, wow, that was it. And then a bunch of interviews after that, I'm assuming.
Um, No, not really. I talked to I had one interview afterwards, but really I was so spent after the combine. Just you're mentally and physically tired because it's a long week. Because not only do you have the on the field stuff, but you have medicals and meetings with these teams and a lot of that type of thing. You're up early. You're waiting, and it's like a hurry up and wait type of situation. So afterwards, I went and ate with my family and my agent, and then I crashed and probably slept like 12 hours. So
Well deserved, Zion. I'm guessing for the whole kind of experience, and part of your story. It's a little crazy that like we mentioned, you got pushed by a bus driver to try for football, and you
mhm.
mentioned that I think you had to play against Chase Young as a right tackle in high school. How was that kind of tussle with Chase Young when you're starting out football so early?
I will say he was on the left side most of the time.
Okay.
It was him and Darisaw going going back and forth. But um my matchup was against another guy, which was tough for me because this guy was a DN and he was like 265 pounds in high school, and I was 225. So it was like I was just straining and the whole game, just trying to move him a few inches because I'm 225. So that was definitely uh, like a experience for me because I'd say in high school with me being undersized, a lot of I had to fall back a lot on technique and just effort and just trying to do just enough. And I think that mentality in terms of giving my all and straining has helped me just going into college and even till now.
Zion, you mentioned that you had never been to LA before, you'd never been to Vegas. You had been to San Diego though before. That's
Yep.
where I'm originally from. But since you've been to San Diego, how's your Espanol?
So I did take Spanish in high school, but then when I got to college, my language I took was Mandarin Chinese, and I took
Wow.
3 semesters of that, and don't ask me how much I know because I could probably string together basic sentences, but the last time I took a Mandarin Chinese class was in 2018 in the fall,
Oh
which
wow.
is a long time ago.
So no Espanol for you?
No, no, no,
What
but,
what
no, I'm open to it. Imma try to pick
yeah.
some things up and learn, yeah.
Just I mean taco is that does that kind of excite you about coming to LA, it being so diverse that you get to try like different kinds of like food and stuff like that?
Absolutely. That was one of the things I really liked about Boston because it's very diverse in different parts there, and you get tons of different foods and cultures and people coming from all over the world. And I'm very excited to experience that in LA.
Well, living in right now in South Bend, I can tell you the Mexican food here and the Mexican food in
Oh,
California is completely different.
oh, I'm
So
sure.
you're gonna experience something else. But Zion, you've spoken about how important your mom is.
Mhm.
And obviously she's a single mother, worked hard to get you to this point. Mother's Day's coming up. Are we getting mom a little something special, or are we what are we getting mom?
We got to, but I can't, she's upstairs right now. I can't really disclose, but just know that it will be something nice. Yeah.
That's awesome. And thank you so much for jumping on with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.